Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for another digital event with ArcVision. We are here today for Empower Your Architecture Curriculum with Veras and Enscape Education Collection. I am Kelsey Kolbenschlag, Sales Operations Manager here at ArcVision. I'm joined today by Debbie Folk, Account Manager at ArcVision, Celinda Lopez, Education Account Manager for Chaos, and Josh Radle, Application Engineer, also with Chaos. They are going to be the team that is going to take us through a presentation on the products, the ease of use, tips, all kinds of things involving the educational licenses that Chaos offers, with a specific focus on Enscape and Veras today. So touching on a few more along the way and just some helpful resources that you can expect later on. Just a little bit about the team that we've got here today. Celinda is, again, the Educational Account Manager at Chaos for North America, helping with academic institutions integrate industry standard rendering tools to enhance curriculum and prepare students for careers in the AEC industry. Josh is the application engineer at Chaos, where he provides technical support and training. Previously, Josh worked as senior product manager at a Autodesk reseller, where he led the company's AEC visualization training and consulting efforts. A little bit about today's event. We will be turning it over again for the presentation here momentarily, but we will be accepting questions in the chat. Please feel free to put those in there along the way. We will answer them during the Q&A session at the end. So with that said, I will turn it over to Josh.
All right. Thanks, Kelsey. All right. Let's steal the screen from you. All right. You see my screen okay? All right, perfect. All right. Well, thanks for having us, everybody. We're going to dive into some of the tools that everybody might be using. So we're going to look at Veras, we're going to look at Enscape, we're going to look at Enscape Impact, Envision, then we'll dive into some learning resources and talk about the EDU licensing and finish it off with some Q&A. We'll keep it fun, engaging as well. All right. So what we're doing at Chaos is we're building out an ecosystem where you have tools for every stage of the design process. So from early stage ideation, conceptual design, we're talking like hand sketching, things like that, napkin sketches, photos that you've compiled, all things to help generate ideas. And then from there, how we can go from concept, ideation, all the way to final cinematic storytelling, and then we'll mix in some AI tools along the way and some cloud collaboration features as well to kind of help keep everybody engaged throughout the design process. Again, these are the tools that we'll be looking at today. We won't be diving super deep into any of them. We'll just kind of give you an overview of what each tool is and kind of its purpose in the ecosystem here, and then how it can be used in basically every stage of the design process so that students can be more or less expected to be looking to be using when they get into different firms. So the first one up we'll check out is Veras. Veras is a really cool AI powered tool for, like we talked about, ideation phase and for visualization. So it's really geared for the AEC industry. It works with software like Revit, Rhino, SketchUp, Forma as well. And again, these tools that we're focusing on today are more geared for the BIM tools or the architecture, engineering, design. We won't be getting into the DCC tools today, like 3ds Max, Cinema 4D. These are all going to be geared for, again, more of the AEC focused tools in this webinar today. So some of the big benefits of Chaos Veras are it integrates smoothly into the popular design applications that we'll be that we'll be talking about today. It's really good for fast ideation and design exploration. Some people call it like a Pinterest board generator. You can kick out a bunch of different renderings very, very quickly to get some ideas going. So the workflows that we're going to be that we like to talk about. So when we're first talking about coming up with ideas and sketch and designs, how do we come up with an idea? A lot of times we're doing hand sketches, traditional sketches, things like that. So how do we take that to the next level? How do we push a sketch a little bit farther? So Veras has a really very nice web feature that allow you to upload sketches. And then with some creative prompting, which we'll look at, you can go from sketch to conception, very quickly in a matter of less than minutes. You can kick out a very, very nice quality rendering very quickly. And we can see here, again, another hand sketch of what a facade, design could look like. And then on the right, it's a Veras rendering, which again, with some creative prompting, we can start generating ideas again to really help get the ideas going and then keep the clients involved as well, the stakeholders, to start again generating different ideas for concepts of what something could look like. Always like, and then again, I mentioned photos. You could literally take a photo of a crumpled up paper bag and then start again prompting something of what you want your design to look like, and you can generate an idea very quickly of what, again, this is the idea stage that we're in, just generating ideas quickly. Veras comes with multitude of different presets. So we can see here's a couple different presets, all from a single sketch. So on the right-hand side, we have all these presets that come with Veras, and you can just simply click on one, and then you can go further enhance that prompt as well. So you'll get the prompt of what that preset's doing, and then you can go further adjust that as well to fit your needs. But we can see just a couple quick renderings of what going from a sketch to a couple different presets looks like. And then we can see, again, here's a couple different presets, again, from our handy little paper bag. So again, that was just a photo that was uploaded and then utilizing. So here we go. We'll just drag and drop that on there. And then from there, click a couple different presets. And then you can see what the different images are going to be that you'll get, straight from Veras. And you can go further edit these as well. And again, the integration with Veras. So Veras also has a standalone application that works with Revit, SketchUp, ArchiCAD, Rhino, Vectorworks, and Autodesk Forma as well. So again, these are the tools that we'll be focusing on in today's webinar. Another integration that Veras has is Veras inside of Enscape, and we'll get deeper into Enscape if people don't know what Enscape is. Again, we'll get further into that, but where the real value of Veras inside of Enscape comes in is you get much more information received from Enscape than from a static image. There you're going to get information about the geometry, materials, things like that, lighting, things like that. And it's going to use your 3D model as a substrate so you can keep building upon that. So you're going to get a nice high quality viewport. You're going to sync with Enscape. So again, any changes will be updated as well. And you're going to get better results as well. So we can see this is just a massing model inside of Enscape. So nothing crazy, no materials. It's just a straight massing model. So we can click the Veras button, and then from there, the Veras window will pop up. And then from there, we can use some prompting skills to start previewing start generating ideas for what we want our concept to be as well. All just with a couple different prompts. And we see we have a geometry override, material override slider as well. We'll get into what all those mean as well. But again, this is Veras inside of Enscape. So when we're working on starting to generate some different images, we have the geometry override. So this is going to determine how much the geometry is going to be changed inside of the model. So we can see we have low, medium, and high geometry. So down here is an Enscape window. So this is the model that we've built up inside of Enscape. And then we can see our prompt exterior shot of utopian architecture building. In the different versions of the geometry override, this is what we're going to get for it. So I always like to start off on low geometry just to see what it's going to do, and then kind of subtly crank it up from there to see what we're going to get. Another option that we have is to put more information inside of the prompt. So this prompt is award-winning parametric Veroni concrete timber, white highlights, warm colors, professional photography, and city lights. So we can see the low geometry. It kept the geometry of the Enscape image very, very well. Medium geometry, you can start seeing what it's doing there. It's starting to override that a lot. And then the high geometry, we can see it's getting pretty crazy. So, but again, all things to start helping generate some good conceptual ideas for us here. And then one of the big things with Veras is, some of the other AI tools on the market too, if you generate a really nice image and then you want to see it from a different angle, that could be really hard to replicate. So with Veras, there's a seed option. So the seed option is going to maintain that preset, that look and feel of what was generated, and it's going to maintain that when you rotate the model in different angles from different viewports. So we can see all we have to do is toggle the seed option, and that's going to basically lock that information in. And when I rotate the model to a different angle, it's going to keep that same look and feel on different angles. So that's how you can get more predictable results from different angles. So that's how you can kind of start using Veras to get some different ideas from different angles as well. All right. So that again, we won't be getting super deep into the weeds of any of these, but we can definitely take a deeper dive if you guys want after this. Definitely reach out to us, and we can definitely set up a time to go further into any of these tools that you guys want. Next one up is Enscape. So Enscape is our real-time design companion. That's where Enscape is a plugin for ArchiCAD, Revit, Rhino, SketchUp, and Vectorworks. And then on the Mac side, ArchiCAD, SketchUp, Rhino, and Vectorworks. Again, sticking with those more popular BIM design tools. Again, Enscape, think of Enscape as a real-time viewport into your model. So everything that you're going to be doing inside of your design application, Enscape's going to see that and just give you a full walkthrough. So this is where it's really, one of the benefits of it is really easy to use. Again, it's 100% integrated. So we often like to say, if you already know how to do things inside of your design application, like placing materials, lights, modeling, Enscape is just going to be that real-time viewport for you. So you don't have to leave your design program. You can just stay inside of that and have Enscape be a little floating window on your other monitor. And it's just going to show you all the different changes that you're making inside of that host design application. And you're going to get high quality rendering the whole time. So we like to say what you see inside the Enscape window is what you're going to get for your final rendering. So that's where it becomes a really powerful presentation tool as well. So real quick, we can see we're inside of Revit here. And again, whatever we're changing inside of Revit, Enscape's going to give me that preview of what's going to look like instantaneously here. So Enscape, again, can be used through any stage of the design process here. One of the bigger features as well is if we have the need to go use another program like V-Ray. Again, we won't get into V-Ray in this webinar, but we could definitely get into V-Ray and the other capabilities that has in another webinar. But when you need to get a higher level of realism with an ArcViz artist, you can send your model over to that ArcViz artist, and if they're using V-Ray, they can pick up where you left off and keep working. So that's a continued workflow right there. So all the geometry will come across, all the materials will come across, assets as well will come across. So this nice continued workflow there. So you can be using Enscape throughout the design process, but then when you need that final portfolio piece and you have an ArcViz artist on staff or working with an outside rendering firm, you can send them this VR scene file. And then from there, again, they can pick up where they left off and use that in programs like 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, things like that, and go further with those programs as well. All right. Next tool up inside of Enscape is our building performance tool called Enscape Impact. So this is for our fast, sustainable design. So it was developed in partnership with global climate tech company called IES, Integrated Environmental Solutions. So it's an add-on inside of Enscape. So this is where we can do real-time building performance analysis. The big idea for building Enscape Impact was to kind of piggyback on what Enscape did. So before Enscape, you'd have to design, then you'd have to stop designing, then you have to go somewhere else to visualize. Well, when Enscape came, you could design and visualize at the same time. So you could just keep working and visualizing at the same time. Kind of that same mentality, but you're design visualizing, and then you have to stop, and then you have to go do building performance analysis, energy analysis. So where Enscape Impact comes in, it kind of bridges that gap. So now you can do design, visualization, and building performance all inside of one tool. You never have to leave your host design application. So that's where you're going to answer 3 questions. Building location. What type of building is it? Is it a hospitality? Is it a school? Is it, whatever type of building it is? You're going to answer again, build year, what type of building it is, and then renovation or when was it built. And then from there, that is going to go fact check that against IES's database, which is world renowned. And it's going to also, what it's going to do is while you answer those three questions, it's going to go do an analysis. So it's going to almost do like Lego blocks essentially around the model, and then inside the model looking for closed spaces, doors, things like that, windows again. And then from there, after it builds up its analysis, and again, based off those three questions, it's going to go get that information from IES's database. And then you're going to get a nice report showing you peak loads, carbon emission, energy use intensity, and then the energy used in a pie chart. So you can see here again for very early stage analysis, you can see how the model is going to perform. So we can see just by simply rotating the model, we got a 6% increase in energy use. So again, a very early stage analysis tool to get some good ideas of how your building is going to perform. Now, on top of all of these, inside of Enscape, we also have our AI enhancer. So this is going to do more or less exactly what it says. You're going to click the AI enhancer button, and what that's going to do is that's going to take a screenshot of the window. And our AI enhancer is going to look to the Chaos Cloud, which we'll get into later. It's going to upload that to the cloud, and then from there, it's going to go start enhancing that image. Now it's going to be enhancing people and vegetation only. It's not going to adjust materials or the model at all. We just want to focus on people and vegetation, which are two really hard things to get looking more photorealistic when we're trying to create a more photorealistic rendering. So we can see inside of Chaos Cloud here, we have a nice slider, which we can do A to B previews. And then we'll do a side-by-side comparison in the next image as well, but we can see what the enhancer is doing. Again, it's just going for people and vegetation. So, because we don't want to rework any of the hard work that you've already done. We just want to, again, focus on the people and vegetation as well. There we go. And then we'll show how this works with the vegetation as well. So we'll do comparisons. So again, this is the Enscape rendering straight out of the box. This is the enhanced version. So we can see what it's doing to the vegetation. So it's giving you that last little like 10% to push it a little bit farther to get a really more detailed rendering there. So we can see what it's doing to the trees as well and to the people as well. It's just adding much more detail to them as well. And then again, for the vegetation as well, we can see it's just adding subtle details to really make it a little bit more photorealistic for us there. All right, now let's jump into, we'll do a quick preview of how Enscape works. So again, Enscape is a plugin for Revit, Rhino, SketchUp, ArchiCAD, and Vectorworks. So we can see it's just our Enscape tab, and what we're going to do is simply click the play button. From there, again, it's going to take everything inside of the host design applications window. So in this case, Revit. So it's going to take everything from inside there, and it's going to launch it over inside of Enscape here. So now what I can do, I can navigate around the model. I can change the time of the day as well. So if I hold shift and right mouse click, I can get a preview of how the sun is going to be affecting my model. But where the real benefit comes in is any changes I make inside of, again, the host design application. So this case, Revit. So that's whether I'm deleting geometry, anything like that. So here, let's go and we'll simply change this different type here. So here I'll change the different type. So we want to see what that looks like as a system panel solid. So we can see now that's just a different type of family there. But again, just quick changes. Anything I'm doing inside of here, change materials, deleting things, anything like that, Enscape's going to update for me in real time. So think of you're doing a design review with the client. You have Enscape open on another window. Your clients are looking at this window. When they want to change, you can go change it inside of Enscape, and it's going to update for you in real time there. Enscape does come with its own set of assets and materials as well. So this is where we have our own asset library. So we ship with over 4,000 pre-built assets for us to choose from. So this is where we can click on some different types of people, furniture, vehicles, and I can simply click and place the asset anywhere inside of the host design application. So again, in this case, Revit, and it's going to show up inside of Enscape for me in real time there. So there we go. I also have the same button inside of Enscape. So a nice bidirectional link. I can place assets inside of Enscape and also push back inside of Revit. So again, a nice bidirectionality there for me. Same with the materials. Enscape by default is going to look at all the different materials you have set up inside of your host design applications. So again, this is getting back to if you know how to place a material inside of Revit, SketchUp, Rhino, Enscape's going to show you all those. So you can keep editing the materials inside of the host design application. We also ship with our own material library as well. So that's where you can click on any material you want, click import, and that's going to import that into your host design application and create that host design application's material set. So in this case, Revit. So it's going to create a Revit material for me. So then I apply that like I normally would any other Revit material, and Enscape's going to show me those materials. While we're working as well is we have a couple different visual styles. So this is really cool. So we can do a sketch mode. So we can show our clients, if we're not at the stage in the design process where we need to really focus on materials, we're just trying to get some quick early stage designs shown to our clients. We can utilize sketch mode. We can use pen, pencil, colored pencil as well. We have the ability to change the outlines, the jitter, a lot of different things to really kind of help determine that final image. We also have a mode called watercolor mode. So this is really cool. Again, gives a nice watercolor effect. And then inside the visual settings tab, these are all things to help further push the image a little bit farther. So saturation, contrast, atmosphere, sky tab as well. Escape comes with a couple different background images that we can load up as well. You can load on your own ones as well. Enscape is also a one-click VR solution. So if you have a VR headset accessible, you can click the VR headset button, and then from there, whatever you're seeing inside the headset, whatever your clients are seeing inside the headset, you can see on the screen. So that's really a nice way for them to be able to experience their design at a true one-to-one scale sense. And again, there's the Veras button. We have the ability to do screenshots, cloud streaming, which we'll get into in a second. So that's a really powerful feature as well. And then the options for video walkthroughs. So that's where you can do nice cinematic video walkthroughs. So quick video animations as well. And then Enscape Impact. That's where the Enscape Impact button is. And then we have our site context tool. So this is where you can do more urban settings. So this is where you can select anywhere in the world that you want. And if that data is in OpenStreetMap, it's going to pull in those models and create massey models out of those for you as well. So again, just a real quick overview of Enscape. We can definitely dive into it at another time if you guys would like. So in addition to Enscape, our next product that we have is what we call Chaos and Vision. So Chaos and Vision is our new standalone 3D visualization tool for the AEC industry. So this is where we can do this, again, picks up where Enscape leaves off. When you need animated people, vehicles, more higher end cinematic animations like doors moving, things like that. When you need to handle extremely large scenes or combine multiple sources as well. So if you're working with a Rhino file and you want to combine that with a SketchUp file with a Revit file, or you're working with the landscape team from Vectorworks, or even different websites out there using different file formats like FBX files, OBJ files, DAE files. That's where Chaos and Vision can combine all those inside of one scene in a full ray trace environment. So that's where you're going to get, again, even higher levels of realism inside of Chaos and Vision. And we can see you can also utilize scenes that come from V-Ray as well. So from 3ds Max, Maya, Cinema 4D, Blender. So this is where it opens up a whole new possibility to create stories. Again, this is more for the bigger presentations when you need that cinematic quality style presentation. You can combine all those inside of Envision. Quick little clip of what you can achieve with Chaos and Vision. So this is where you can do nice phasing effects as well, how the building's being built up, animated vehicles, traffic simulations, crowd simulations as well. And again, all combined inside of Envision. And taking into account the Enscape type of mentality, what you see inside the window is what you get for your final rendering. So again, we can see this is a full ray traced environment here. And the level of quality that we can get with it is really that nice cinematic quality that we're looking for. So let's jump in and check this out as well. So here's our envision scene. So this is where we can bring in, so this scene already has 3ds Max files. The pavilion was designed in Rhino, train system was designed in SketchUp, things like that. So when we bring in Revit files, we just go file import, and I can bring in that scene that we were working on inside of Enscape inside of Revit. And we'll notice this is where all that geometry comes across. This is part of that connected ecosystem here. So we can see all the geometry came across, all the materials came across as well, all the Enscape assets came across. This is what really sets this ecosystem apart, is being able to work in these multiple different programs and have all of that data transfer across. Now, what's really powerful about this is, let's filter down here and notice all the categories came across as well. And what I always like to say about Envision is anything that is selectable is animatable. So now this is where I can start setting up phasing animation. So I could have all the walls falling in, all the columns falling in. I can do all this very easily inside of Envision just by setting up what we call variations. So we'll set up a variation where it's just everything's how it should be, and then move everything up for the next variation, and then we'll just simply animate that. So again, really simple to be able to start creating cinematic animations like that. Also, lights come across as well. So this is another really powerful feature. So lights come across from your host design application. So again, if you're placing lights inside of Revit, Rhino, or if you're using Enscape with SketchUp, those lights will come across as well, and you get control over all that. Now, what's really powerful, another really powerful feature of Envision is the ability to take advantage of the Cosmos library. So the Cosmos library is an even greater library of high quality assets. So, and it's just going to be expanding as well. So we have some really cool things coming out. So definitely stay tuned for that. But this is where, again, you can simply just click and drag. So let's say for trees, we can just simply click and drag some trees inside of our scene here. Just click and download or click and drag those, put those in our scene. Internet's going a little slow. There we go. But again, we can see the level of detail that we'll get with our assets here. Let me turn off my light indicators. We also could take advantage of the chaos scatter functionality here. So this is where we can start populating our scene very quickly. So we have some different presets as well. So let's go to presets, surfaces. Here's some that I already have set up. So we can just simply, all right, let's just try one here. We can just click and drag these onto a surface. And again, we'll see how quickly that can populate our scene with high quality assets. There we go. And again, Envision's built to handle large scenes as well. So you can sit here and just click and populate your scene with a whole forest as well if you'd like. So we'll jump to Chaos Cloud next. So Chaos Cloud is where we can utilize the power of 360 panoramas. And real quick here, let me go back to my slides. So Chaos Cloud is really good. This is where you can do presentations and do collaboration as well. So people can do markups, annotations, leave comments, things like that. And again, we're introducing a new cloud streaming service, which we'll get into, but this is a really cool feature. If everybody wouldn't mind scanning this QR code with their phones. So this is where this is part of how you share your designs with your clients. So we looked at Enscape, how you can do still images, 360 panos. Envision will give you the ability to do, again, videos and 360 panos as well. And it can also take all that, same with Enscape, and upload that to Chaos Cloud. So inside of Chaos Cloud, this is where you can combine all these different panoramas and still images, and you can start creating a tour. And then you can set up hotspots as well. So if everybody was able to get that on their phone, so here I'll full screen this. So this is where, again, you can take all those images that you've created in Veras, Enscape, Envision, and you can combine them all inside of here. And then you can also set up little markers, information markers about what type of countertop this is, the different variations this countertop comes in. You can also link to the product's website as well. And then you can have little information markers, again, about more information about the product. And again, you can also be in floor plan mode, jumping between different markers as well. And this is also where you can use, you can invite users to be contributors or editors so they can leave markups, annotations, things like that. And then you can also, again, share it via QR code. One of the other things that we're working on, this just came out with Enscape, is the beta for the cloud streaming. So this is where you can take the full scene from inside of Enscape and you can upload that to our cloud streamable service. So this is where you can navigate the full scene in full quality, and then you can have people, again, leave comments, markups, annotations, things like that, all within inside of the full 3D model. So this is accessible on a tablet, phone as well, or a computer as well. So this is really cool to be able to give your clients this experience, and or for your students to be able to share their work as well. Like, talk about a cool portfolio piece right there for them to be able to share this with future people as well. All right. Oh, there we go. And then next up, let's talk about our learning resources. So Celinda.
Wow, that was really interesting. Thank you so much, Josh. I couldn't have explained it better myself, but I loved how you, showed the different products and their uses. And these are all incredible tools that will be very applicable to students that are studying architecture and interior design. Just wanted to share some additional learning resources that we have available for you guys. Starting off with the most important one is that we do offer educator licenses that are complimentary to all active faculty. So Kelsey, I think during our follow-up email, we'll share this link where educators can submit their proof of educator status and receive their license, whichever one they're interested in, whether it's Enscape or Veras or V-Ray. We can certainly activate these educator licenses for you. And I also wanted to share the Chaos Academy that is also included in your license. All licenses have access to the Academy where you can go through training videos that are a bit more in depth. And these also range from, there's like separate tracks for interior design or architecture, and they cover everything from a general onboarding to even more deep dive series. So we do have this available to you. Of course, we have our tutorials, webinars, forums, and blogs where users share questions and share additional feedback. That's all user-based. And these are some of the learning resources that we have. Josh, if you wouldn't mind changing to the next slide. I'll also share some additional offerings that are included in your education licenses. So for all educator licenses, student licenses, and university licenses, you receive the same features as our commercial licenses. So everything that Josh demonstrated here, you'll have access to. There won't be any watermarks. So when students are presenting to their peers, or perhaps they might enter a national competition, they'll be able to use these renderings without any watermarks at all. We also offer free support, whether it's via email, or we can definitely set up a call with the university and include faculty that might be interested, as well as students, because I'm sure they have a lot of questions. So we'll be definitely happy to arrange these calls with you guys if you're interested in setting up and just learning more about our licenses. All university licenses are floating, so they can be used in the classroom and also shared with students via email, so they can log in using their email and password and use a license at any time. We also offer upgrades. So starting in in a couple of weeks, on August 19th, we'll be releasing our new collections. So any upgrades that we come along the way, you'll be automatically upgraded to the latest version. And last but not least, just wanted to reiterate our free educator licenses to you guys. So if there's anybody that's in the call that would like to share this with their colleagues, please do. We'd love to get you guys started on your educator licenses so you can start testing and sharing this knowledge with your students. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys. I think that was everything from my end. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat, or if you need to unmute yourself, or after this webinar, definitely contact ArcVision and we can help answer any questions that you have.
Oh, thank you, Celinda and Josh. Josh, great presentation overview, and Celinda, thank you for hitting on all the highlights. To reiterate what Celinda was saying, yes, we will do, as soon as we have the recording ready, we will share that along with all the resources that she's presented, here to help answer any questions on any of the licensing. We'd love your feedback too, for a part 2 of this educational series, maybe a deeper dive into, like we were saying earlier, V-Ray or some of the other license features. So there is a lot of offerings when it comes to the educational side. And though I don't see any questions in the chat right now, if any last minute ones come in, please feel free to put them in there. Josh, was there anything that maybe you wanted to hit on in a little bit more that you didn't get to, or do we want to give a little overview of anything else? We have a little extra time on our hands.
I think we covered a lot of it. We could go deeper into Envision too.
What would you all consider? So I know one of the probably the big questions that instructors may have is, the ease of use for getting to know these different products for their students. How would you consider the knowledge base for getting to know these products?
Let's see here. I would start with Enscape for sure. That'd be the one I would start with, is Enscape. Get to know Enscape really well. But again, Enscape would be my first one. It's probably one of the easiest ones to get going. Again, like we talked about, it just plugs inside of your host design application, and then from there, again, like you don't have to be an expert visualization artist to get a very good quality to get a very good quality image out of Enscape. It'll give you good results right away, and then from there, again, you can keep further refining the image if you'd like, or again, you can send it to Envision after that. But I would start with Enscape first.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Success story, a case study that I'd just like to share with you guys. I was talking with a high school teacher, and he mentioned that at the beginning of the year, he gave this 30-minute introductory lesson to his students. And by the end, for him, that was what they needed. They needed just a quick intro to some of the key features and functionalities found in Enscape. And soon enough, the students were testing the different materials, playing around with it. And they were really, really engaged. And there's a lot of information out there. But I will say that Enscape has proven to be a great tool for students because it is engaging, it's interactive. The learning curve to learn Enscape is lower than some of our other products and other information that's out there, other resources. And I think at the end of the day, to get students started with a software that is engaging, that's the first step to get them to understand and to test out the software.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then from there, Veras is another really good one as well. Again, like we talked about, for the quick ideation phase, going from sketch to to really good image right away to get the concepts. It's all about prompting. So we have a really good article about the different prompt or how prompting works. So you can really start to kind of study that. Obviously, AI is here now and doesn't seem to be going anyway anytime soon.
I read that e-prompt book. Oh my gosh, I was like, I never would have thought about the little adjustments that you can make with your wording and how
Yep.
the outcome would be so different. It was fascinating.
Yep. Exactly. So that would be the next one I'd start with is Veras after Enscape. And then because obviously Veras is inside of Enscape now too. So I utilize it a lot too, even after just for different things. When I want to change up a rendering, maybe to a snowy scene. Again, I'm up in Minnesota, so we like our snow up here. So just do a simple snowy scene, something like that, something really quick. It's really great for things like that, or just trying out different things, different ideas as well.
Excellent, excellent.
And then obviously Envision is it's the newest of the bunch, but I really like Envision for the fact that I get to combine multiple different design applications into one. So that's where it opens up a lot more possibilities. And then I get to go further than what I could with Enscape.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
what,
and hearing that learning, progression, I think can also help with, sort of outlining that curriculum around the collections and specifically too. So
yeah, exactly. Because that's where you get even more finer control, and that's where you can be even more creative. You get much more advanced camera settings and material options, things like that,
yeah.
all what's inside of Envision.
Oh, takes me back to my visualization classes
Yep.
in college. Just like you wanted to get to the end of the course where you get to do the fun, like, master projects that were just like could blow you
Yep.
away. You're like, no, you got to take it step by step.
Yep. No, exactly. But yeah, so that's where that's how I would go. Enscape first, then Veras, and then Envision.
Nice. Okay.
Yep. And again, we check out our KS Academy. We have a lot
Mhm.
of good resources on there as well. A lot of getting started.
Yeah, and then kind of what we had mentioned before too, you can always send questions to the ArcVision team,
Yeah.
and we work, directly with Josh, with Celinda, and we can always help get you additional resources and questions and schedule demos as well for students. So
Mhm.
I think that is, like I said, the last of the questions, unless there was anything else you all wanted to add.
I mean, I can keep talking about the products for hours.
I
Keep showing.
know,
We
but
can
we'll
keep
save
showing
it
cool
for a
stuff.
part two.
Yeah, exactly.
More to look forward to. So
Mhm.
I again thank you both for joining us today, for
Yep.
all the sharing all the information. And we again will look forward to hosting you hopefully very soon for the part two. And thank you everybody for joining us today and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.